Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight a very special episode about a cask strength rye you forgot about and didn't know was coming. And nobody asked for this review, but you're going to get it here, I believe, first from Bourbon Bill. It's Woodford Barrel Strength Rye. Holy shit, you didn't even know this motherfucker existed, did you? Did you? Oh, it's in that traditional club bottle that we love, but sadly is only 700 mils. We hate that. Now, details on this beauty. Recently released, when this airs, like it was released like last week. That's how on top of it we are around here. 125.1 proof, compute 62.55% alcohol by volume, a nice high proof. Got the green label here and here to let you know it's a rye and not their batch proof bourbon, which is what you're used to in this club shaped bottle. And all their Masters Collection releases are in these bottles, but you know, what else do you get cask strength from Woodford every year? It's really only the batch proof, which is, cask strength bourbon. 2025's batch proof is right here, 119.5 proof. First time they've ever done a cask strength rye, and they did it 125.1. Pretty cool. Now, is this a yearly release? I don't know. There's a few label differences here that strike me as maybe not, but I hope it's not true. I hope it is a yearly release. Well, I don't know, we haven't tasted it yet. We're going to taste it and then we're going to say that. But, okay, the batch proof right here. Refamiliarize yourself with that label. Okay, it says batch proof. It says Masters Collection Woodford Reserve batch proof, and they print the batch. Elizabeth McCall, if you're watching, put a goddamn year on here. Yes, the proof's fine. I know it's different every year, but put a year. 2025. Just do it. It don't hurt you to do that. It don't hurt you to do that. All right, this one though, instead of saying Masters Collection, says Distillers Select, and it says Limited Edition down here, which the batch proofs don't. So, and it also says Barrel Strength instead of batch proof. So, I don't know. Clearly, this is a batch. It's not a single barrel, right? And it by any means. So there you go. Is there any other information on it? Hell no, there's not. Of course, look, Woodford can only give you so much. We asked Woodford, give us more cask strength options. They listened. With transparency, they went deaf on that part, right? And at a lower price. They kind of listened, because batch proof is, $150 a bottle. And go watch my review of this. I'll link it above. We said a lot of things about it. I still love it every year. Not a great value, right? This one, though, $130. So, I got to give them some credit. Is that a great price? We'll find out. Probably not, but it's cheaper than the batch proof. Which, by the way, is still sitting on shelves in late 2025. That came out in January 2025. So, there's that. Big shout out tonight, the biggest shout out tonight to Dave Vogelsang, the patron saint of Whiskey Tube. Obviously you know him if you watch any other channels, but Dave helped me get this. Thank you again, Dave. Could not have done it without you, sir. The man, the myth, the legend. The only thing the press release really said that I forgot to mention was that it's a 53% rye mash bill. So barely legal rye. They call it a pre-prohibition style rye. I don't know if that's the same mash bill as their regular 90.4 proof rye. I don't know that. Someone comment below if you do. But that's what's in this bottle. So that could be different if that's not the same as their lower version. All right, here it is. Color, nice and damn dark. Nice and dark. That's what we like to see from Woodford. Look, I love the batch proofs quite a bit. Their bourbon mash bill. This is a rye. I love ryes. Are we going to love this? Let's find out tonight on the nose. Holy shit, that smells good. Oh, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, oh my God. There's some chocolate, a little citrus. like leather, tobacco, barrel char. Man, does this smell good. Oh yeah, it's definitely like a dark and brooding rye. Yeah, it's a lot of primary notes are like chocolate, barrel char, then like faint hint of leather, tobacco, and the citrus are there to like support, you know? Man, I'm digging this nose. Down the hatch. Oh Lord, that's delicious. Oh, oh yeah. A lot going on here. A lot. There's the barrel char, tobacco, leather, exactly what's in the nose. A little bit of citrus in there. A lot of baking spices going on here. Man, full of flavor, full of fun. Love it. Bourbon Bill's rating, A+. I'd buy it. I mean, man, if you like the batch proof, do yourself a favor and buy this son of a bitch. Man, is that good. No youth notes in it at all. Number one. Number two, is it full of like oak and a ton of leather? No, there's a little bit of leather in there. I don't get a lot of oak on it. Not exceptionally old, right? We're going to say that. It is not age dated. Of course, you know, it's brown form and they heat cycle it. You know, batch proof, the bourbon is generally like 1 barrel of Woodford to like 2 of Old Forester. So I'm guessing that could be the same component here. I don't know. I don't, you know, this, they say this pre-prohibition style. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but remember, everybody, remember, Old Forester did a President's Choice Rye this year. First time ever. Haven't tried it. A lot of people raving on it. Real expensive, like $275, $300 a bottle. You know, is batch proof as good as President's Choice Bourbon? No, but it's like half price, you know, and it's not cheap on its own, right? There's Old Forester Barrel Strength Bourbon and Rye. Okay, generally batch proof is the best Old Forester single barrel strength you're ever going to have, right? That's how good batch proof usually is. This is significantly better than any Old Forester Barrel Strength Rye I've ever had. I've had a bottle of that one time. Had a love-hate with it, to be honest. It kind of like, it was really good, then it was like, wow, that's not that good. Then it was good again, and it was not that good again. Like, I've never had a bottle like roller coaster like that all the way through until it's finished. Like, never. So I never rebought one of the ryes. They're also hard to come by. But this feels good. And I gotta say, it probably drinks more to like a Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye profile, but doesn't have the banana-ness to it, which is also delicious, right? It doesn't have that to it. So there's that. All right, first up tonight for our comparisons, because we know you want them. Often forgotten about, but never should be overlooked. Knob Creek Store Pick Ryes, not quite barrel strength, 115 proof. They now do offer cask strength ryes in 2025. This was a pick from the 717 Bourbon Society. This one's like over 8 years old. So I know the age on this one, which is nice. Price on these about 60 to 65 doll hairs. What's that, everybody? Let's say it out loud. Half price. On most, there's a pick on most store shelves of Knob Creek Rye. Are you going to find this on most store shelves? Probably not. Oh boy, the Woodford Barrel Strength Rye is darker than our Knob Creek at 115. 8-year Knob Creek 115 proof store pick on the nose. Oh man, there's a nice oak here. This is really oaky compared to what we just smelled. Wow. Oaks, I get oak citrus here. Leather. A lot of brown sugar, a lot of caramel. Down the hatch. Oh my God. Oh, this is gonna hurt you, Woodford. A lot of oak and leather here. Some citrus, a lot of brown sugar and caramel in there. The Knob Creek is very good. Does drink older. Back to the Woodford. Just a different animal, though. Just a different animal. So much more chocolate, barrel char. You know, what it lacks in oak, right? It makes up for. And just this, like, I'm almost getting like a berry note on here, too. It's like chocolate berries down the hatch. Oh. All right, the Woodford's thicker. Doesn't taste younger. Doesn't taste younger than an Knob Creek here, but it's not as oaky. So if you want like a chocolate char and like citrus berry thing, but that's just as rich but doesn't have the oak, you're gonna love this Woodford. So Woodford's still in the game. Is it more expensive? Is it a bad value? You know, probably, right? Like, it's double the cost. Is it better than that store pick? For me, probably yes, by a little bit, but not double the price. Sagamore Cast Strength Bourbon, $60 to $65 hairs, again, half price. Aged 7 years. Woodford, Elizabeth McCall, get your fucking act together and start putting age on that bottle right there. What is wrong with you? This is 2025. People want transparency and age. Knob Creek says the exact age, 7 years on here. No effing excuse, Woodford. It's like you listened to us, but then went deaf for the second half of the transparency conversation we wanted to have. Proof on this is 123 proof, right in the wheelhouse. This is also all Maryland distillate. So this is not MGP, this is Sagamore's own. Right in the wheelhouse here. Like I'm wearing my Sagamore shirt. Like, this is toe to toe, baby. Color nice and dark on the Sagamore. Even exactly the same shade as the Woodford Barrel Strength Rye. Sagamore Cast Strength 7 year on the nose. Good Lord, tons of cherry. Tons of caramel. Little hint of leather on this one as well. Wow, that smells good. Woodford? Woodford now smells grainy in comparison. What is going on here? These are kind of close on the nose. The Woodford's got like the barrel char chocolate thing, right? And then the Sagamore is the cherry. Oh man. All right, this is gonna be close. Sagamore down the hatch. Oh. Oh, that Sagamore slaps. All cherry. Caramel. I'm getting a hint of leather in that. I don't think I've said that note before on that bottle, but rich and luxurious throughout. Woodford. Oh my God. They're neck and neck. We're going draw. We're going with the draw tonight. Both rely on fruits, and let's put it this way. Both do not rely on oak to carry forward a delicious presence. Okay, the Sagamore is kind of cherryish. The Woodford's got this barrel charred chocolate, kind of weird berry thing going on. Neck and neck. They're a little bit different, but they're both fruit oriented on the palate. With the Woodford being more barrel char heavy than the Sagamore, but the Sagamore ramping up the fruit to make up for the lack of the barrel char, the Woodford might be a touch more complex, but again, the price. Double the price. Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye, same parent company of Brown-Forman. This one happens to be a Coming Beverage Mart Coy Hill 9-year-old rye pick at a nearly hazmat 139. I expect an ass whooping. All for about $70 hairs. And here's the nail in the Woodford coffin, most likely. Coming Beverage Mart, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Coy Hill Rye at nearly hazmat is significantly darker. In fact, it's red. Oh, one of my favorite ryes. This got up there high in Rye of the Year last year. I'm actually going to put it in this year because guess what? There's a lot of store picks of Coy Hill Rye coming out this year from Jack Daniel's, and all in that 8 to 9 year range. So you know what? It's going in for 2025 Rye of the Year too, even though I got it last year because it's reminiscent of what I could get this year. So keep that in mind. Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye on the nose. Holy shit! So much barrel char. I get like an oak in here, caramel. That Coy Hill, like just essence of barrel. Damn. This has a better nose. Down the hatch. Heaven help me. Oh. Oh. We got a winner. Coy Hill is better. Thicker, more concentrated, complex flavors. It's all barrel char to the extreme. Delicious candied rye and like just it's wonderful. Wonderful. Woodford Barrel Strength Rye. Now smells a touch young. Now nothing else tonight has made it smell young. Now it does a little bit. Down the hatch. But it don't drink. Oh, it's so chocolatey and like coffee espresso now. Ooh. Dang, it's not far off, guys. Closer than I want to admit. The mid palate and finish really ramp up on this Woodford Barrel Strength Rye. Really do. We got a price problem though. Okay, you know, Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof, same parent company, right? They're probably the closest in profile, but that one being a Coy Hill nearly hazmat has some flavors that this isn't going to have. If you get an off-the-shelf Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye, okay, take away the banana note, and you're going to get a lot of the Woodford Barrel Strength in here. What Jack Daniel's doesn't usually have is like a chocolate, like espresso, or even really citrus. That's coming through in the Woodford, but beyond that, they're similar. Okay, so I don't know what that means to you, but the problem is Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye is $70 hairs, right? $68, $65 hairs on the shelf. That's $130 and limited. Could that be better than a shelf Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye? It could be. It could be. In fact, I think it would be. It's closer than I want to admit to that 9-year Coy Hill Rye there. But the Coy Hill Rye does beat it. You know, it's not that close, so we couldn't call it. But, you know, so does it have a price problem? Again, yes. But it's similar to the batch proof problem, right? It's like batch proof, the problem is you could get a really good Old Forester barrel strength pick, right, for like 180, 90, 100. That could be equal or better. But the batch proof is better than most of the Old Forester single barrels. This problem here is that this is dark and delicious. This is a killer rye. This is actually going to do well in Rye of the Year, to be honest. I'm going to admit that. It will. Price aside, I feel like this should be like 80, 90. You know, even if you went 100, I wouldn't fault it. If it was 100, I would give it an A+++++, extreme buy. I got to stick with like, I might go like down to like an A- because of the price. But they at least listened and lowered the price compared to batch proof, right? So we got to give them credit there. We'll stick with the A+, I guess, on the Woodford batch proof. It's really good. Should you buy one? If you like ryes, I think you should. I think you should. It's different enough from everything else that we've tasted tonight. I think you should consider it. Now, if you see both on the shelf, which one's better, the bourbon or the rye? Woodford batch proof is just not a good value. No transparency. And look, you know, Woodford listened a little bit, like they released that Chocolate Whisper Redux or whatever. I didn't get one because it was like distillery only, which is stupid, but that was age dated. I heard it was high proof. People loved it, you know. I didn't try it. Someone send me a sample if you have one. But, you know, all in they listened a little bit, but then they didn't quite follow it through all the way. I don't know. It's Woodford. What do you expect? All right, Woodford batch right here on the left. Oh, the Woodford batch is significantly darker than this rye. What's going on? What's going on? Woodford batch. Damn, the Woodford batch got such like, we got like a cherry leather. A little bit of oak on the Woodford batch. Caramel down the hatch. Oh man. Oh man, I forgot how good. A little bit of cherry, faintest hint of banana. Caramel, barrel char for days, a little bit of leather oak on the bourbon. Boy, the bourbon slaps. I forgot how good that bourbon is. Now, look, that's been opened a while, half open. Oh, also, thank you, Dave, for that one. Dave got me that one as well. All right, Woodford Barrel Strength Rye. Last sip here. See, nose-wise, I think I actually prefer the Woodford Batch Proof. Yeah. But, you know, maybe with some more air. I don't know, the Woodford batch proof just, but I don't know, there's a lot to love about the rye. All right, the rye down the hatch. Oh man. Those are tough. Those are tough. Pretty different profiles. Like the rye's got all this citrus, chocolate, barrel char, leather thing going on. A lot of rye spice. Baking spices even. Then the bourbon, just a lot of cherry. And there's a touch of oak in the bourbon that's nice. That's not there in the rye. Man. We'll call them a draw tonight. I'm leaning bourbon, but I'm going to call them a draw because it's unfair. The bourbon's been open for like, almost a full year. Whereas the rye hasn't just tonight. But they diverge a bit in profile. I think it's killer. So thank you, Woodford, for kind of listening to the consumer, branching out. Should you buy this beauty? I think you should. Is it earth-shattering? No. Look, if Wild Turkey did... Let's talk about this for a second. Hold on. Look, as much as I hate Wild Turkey, if Wild Turkey is releasing single rickhouse, right, with no age statement, at $300 a bottle, and you fuckers are going to line up for that, like they're giving away free lotto tickets for life. This is $130. Just like the Wild Turkey single rick, it's also not age dated. Okay? It's a batch. Same shit. And now it's a rye though, and I get the Wild Turkey's not a rye, but I'm just saying, like, put that into perspective, it becomes a decent value. But you put into some of the age dated stuff we went through tonight, value's lacking a bit. But I think this is pretty good. It is different than everything we've tasted tonight, even though some of the stuff we tasted tonight was from the same parent company. So what can you say about that except this is a pretty cool release from Woodford. I'm glad they're stepping up and listening. Listen a little more, Woodford and Elizabeth. Listen a little more and put an age statement on here and just some more information. The bottle's cool. I like the shape. The juice is good. Just give us a touch more, and just why don't we lower the prices? Like, Woodford batch should be like, 100. Give us that at 100. Lower it down to like Old Forester single barrel strength pricing, right? Because it's just, there you go. This should be down there as well. Give us this at 100. I mean, you just 90 even. It's like lower the prices a little bit. But thank you for lowering this one a little bit over the bourbon. If you like what we saw tonight, please like, comment, and subscribe. See you again next time. Have a good night, everybody.